Hi buddy, it's Alex and today I'm gonna review a racket that I think is gonna become a classic pretty quickly. Today I'm gonna review for you the Wilson RF01 Future. And right off the bat, one thing that I like is that usually when it's a light racket, we're all claiming as reviewer, as brand or whatever, that this racket should be like easier to play with and whatever. But this racket is actually different because there's three versions of the RF. You have the 01 Pro, which is 320 gram. You have the 01 regular, which is 300 gram. And you have this Future, which is 280 gram, 98 square inch, 16 by 19 string pattern, just like the other two. But there's something written in the throat that is really interesting and I really liked it. It says design and engineer for the next generation of creative tennis player. So this racket should be meant for high level junior competitive player, just to pursue the legacy of Roger Federer. So let's see if this racket is made for you, and in order to do that we gotta go onto the court. Let's go. On the court with the Wilson RF01 Future, the first thing that I felt was how the racket was light and allowing me to create some head speed. This combined to the fact that the racket doesn't have any technology helped me to really feel the ball into the string bed. And it's one of the only racket where you feel like it's light but still providing you a lot of information about the feeling of where the ball is in the string bed. And that's where I think that this racket really stands out compared to some other racket, because you feel like racket nowadays are having a lot of technology, maybe sometimes too much technology, but this one feels really raw at the volley, at the serve. You really feel where the ball is going, so you can really direct the ball, create the pace that you want. So if you're not putting any pace, the ball won't do anything. But if you want to accelerate the ball, then the racket's going to provide the power that you need. And so overall, it's a really responsive racket that can help you to just control and dictate your game. So one thing that I really like with this racket is the fact that there's some line that you feel like when you're going with the lighter version, you lose a bit the feeling of the racket. And if you were to switch to, let's say, the regular 01, it would be completely different and all that stuff. But this one is not the case. This racket feels just like the 300 gram version, just with a lighter weight. I feel like it's just easier to swing, but overall it's the same feeling. You feel like the sweet spot is pretty big. You have a good thing, I think personally for me, is the lack of technology that brings a lot of feeling to this racket, but at the same time create a really real response of the racket. So you don't have a lot of technology flexing the racket all over the place to create something, to create a feeling or to create something like I said. But this one is definitely different. You feel like the racket is really raw but really playable. So overall you have a racket that is pretty easy to play with. I feel like the aerodynamic is quite good due to here the beam like really stopping with a sharp edge, but at the same time, because it's a pretty big, not really big, but for me personally a pretty big beam, it's not the fastest racket in the air, but still it's quite good. One thing that I also like with this racket is the fact that you can pretty much do everything with it. So it's a good overall racket to all of you that loves to do pretty much everything. So what I mean by that is like going to the net, doing big serve, slice serve, kick serve, slice with your backhand, go with heavy topspin on your forehand, go with flat shot or whatever. So yeah, this racket is really good overall. The last thing that I could add is the fact that this racket is really easy to pick up. So sometimes there's some great racket that takes a lot of time to like, or at least to get used to it. But for my case, and I think, overall it was pretty easy to get used to this racket. So you swing one or two times and then you're like, okay, like I get it, like I know how this racket is gonna respond. And the thing that I like the most with this racket is the fact that the direction that you want to go with is really easy to pick. So if you want to go cross court, usually the ball will go cross court, and I think it's due to the raw feeling that helps you to know where the ball is gonna go, because you don't have a lot of technology that affects the feeling of this racket. So for the rating of this racket, I would have to go with the same rating that I gave to the 01 regular, so 9.01 out of 10. Thanks to Wilson for letting me try this racket, but also thanks to Wilson to let me be just completely honest, because I mean, if it wasn't the case, I wouldn't do this review, that's for sure. So that's it for the video. Hope you have liked it. Don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe. And see you next time. Bye bye.